Red lipstick looks terrible on you, and here's why. Red finds red. So if you put red lipstick on and you have any redness in your skin, you're basically highlighting the redness in your skin, and it just makes you look blotchy. You need a really good full coverage foundation. I'm using the Performance Foundation from Science of Pretty, and we're going to buff it to a shine. I'm using a brush with a flat top to make circles in one direction and the other direction. A cream foundation with a little bit of wax in it is always going to give you the best coverage, definitely more than a silicone foundation. It's hard to find a good cream foundation that doesn't contain petroleum, and ours is probably the only one I could tell you about offhand. I really don't know of another one. It's kind of why I created it. So you don't have to buff it like this. It takes some time. It takes quite a bit of effort and a little bit of practice, but the results are pretty amazing. If you've ever polished furniture after you painted it and put wax on it, when you buff that wax, it kind of gets the sheen on top. That's basically what you're doing here. So it's a very low pressure, high friction circles in one direction, then circles in the other. That's also going to fill in pores. It acts almost like a prosthetic device, giving you a really smooth finish. This is going to make your red lipstick look so much better, but here's 2 more tips on how to get away with wearing red lipstick. Foundation has been buffed to a shine. I'm adding some highlight in this area here, chin and forehead, a little bit of contour. And the second tip for getting red lipstick to work for you, even if you swear that you cannot pull it off, is to line your lips with a neutral liner. A nude color is a much better choice than using a red liner. And then we're gonna set that with powder. Let's get to it. All right, adding in a nude liner. Stay on the outside of where your lips are no longer pink. Okay, so find where they stop being pink, and then it's your face and not your lip anymore, right? That is where your liner should be. Don't stay on the inside of the pink. Give yourself a nice waxy border, and then we're gonna set this with powder to make sure that we have a great foundation for our red lips. I use a lot of sketching motions when I do my lips because I want that wax to fill in the little fine lines around the edge of the lip. This is the Cool Matte Powder from Science of Pretty. I'm going to just blot it all over and press it out. And while I'm here, I'll go ahead and powder under my eyes as well. Use a lip brush to apply your lipstick. Don't use the actual lipstick. And I really like these liquid lips that last a little bit longer. They're easier to paint on in a very, very thin, dry layer. And it makes it much easier to get into all the little fine lines around the lips. So you really want to just go over your lip liner all over again with your red product and your lip brush. Keep those edges nice and clean. That powder and that lip liner are really going to help hold all of this in and give you a nice, almost like a sticky primed layer to hold on to so it doesn't go traveling. Cut the corners. Don't go all the way into the corner. When you get close to the edge of the corner of your lip, just cut it off and pull it down, and don't go there. Pay close attention to your peaks right here. If they're not even, and most people's are not, fake it and make them look even. A really good lip brush is gonna make that so much easier to do. This one is from Morphe. With your long-lasting lip color, fill in a little bit on the inside of your lip in a very dry layer, meaning that you feel like you're really having to stretch that product through there. You don't want this to be slippery or messy at all. It'll end up all over your teeth. But you want to make sure you also don't get that break right here where it's very obvious to other people when you're talking to them that your red lipstick is not your lips. Another tip is to clean up the edges with a concealer brush that is always packed with just a little bit of concealer, and make sure that your lines are straight. When you draw this much attention to your lips, it kind of has to be perfect. And I gotta be honest with you, I haven't worn red lipstick since I got a nose job, and I think it's because it's just not a good idea, even if you follow all of these tips, to wear red lipstick. if you have a particularly crooked or large nose. You're pulling people's attention away from your eyes and into the center of the face to the mouth. And that is always risky. So if your nose is too much to compete with, we'll just put it that way, maybe avoid the red lipstick and go with something glitzy and bronzy instead. Another red lipstick tip is to use a gloss that has a little bit of glitz to it. I like for the lip color to actually be matte, but leaving it matte is risky. Matte lips just don't have the shine. They're going to minimize the size of your lips, and you really want that shine at the vermilion border so that at the apex of every curve on the lips, there is a point of light. So we're gonna use the Science of Pretty gloss, just a little bit of it. We don't want to undo the redness of it, but we want to highlight and give some points of light to the curvy parts of the lip. We'll hit the edges first with just the smallest amount. This lip gloss is really so versatile. It can almost be sheer if you're careful enough with it. You see that little bit of shine bouncing off those curves, and then we'll put some at the fat part of the bottom of the lip, and that's it. And then the last tip, we're gonna talk about your eye makeup. Leave your eye makeup minimal. Let's do a bronze smoky eye and some great mascara and call it a day. All right, bronze smoky shadow and a stiff little brush all over the eyelid. If you have hooded eyes, you're gonna wanna do a crease treatment. So I'll go ahead and add one of those after I get done here. But with the bronze cream shadow from Science of Pretty, it's so foolproof. You just smudge it on, get it all over your lid. If you have big lids, cover the whole big lid. If you have small lids, if you barely have any in your hooded eyes, hang over your entire lid, lift up that hood, get this bronze shadow on there, because as you're interacting with other people, they do see your eyelids. They're there. You're just not seeing them in your mirror face that you're making. And we'll go in and hit the bottom lashes with a little bit more. Smudge it out, bring it down a little lower than you think you should. And then we're gonna we'll go ahead and add a crease color and some mascara to this. We are just about done with our holiday look. All right, for my crease color, I'm gonna use the blonde brow powder from Science of Pretty and a fluffy brush, and just start making that little rainbow shape back and forth down to tear duct, out to last eyelash. Move it up, up, up. You want just a very invisible fade, just sort of pushing that hooded eye back. This really shouldn't look like makeup. We're not looking for pretty art on the face. We're just looking to get rid of this big, bright, white piece of flesh up here by turning it a cool brown and pushing it back. More contouring the eye flesh than adding eye makeup. All right, 2 more red lip tips. Blush. Blush, oh man, this really screws up a good red lip. If you try to use a red blush and a red lip, you're gonna ruin the whole thing, okay? So we're just gonna take the Science of Pretty lip gloss and do the tiniest little touch. If you aren't gonna use these specific products, I would just recommend using your bronzer as your blush, but keep it really, really minimal. You don't want anything too pink, you don't want anything too orange. And since we represented this lip gloss in the edge of our red lip, it makes sense to add it right here, keep it high, and again, very, very minimal. And the last tip is pearls. Pearls are gonna triangulate the whites. Everybody knows that red lipstick makes your teeth look so white, and it really does. But to enhance that even further, the bigger, better the pearls, the more whitening power you're going to get. These are gigantic, and I love them. Probably only gonna be able to wear these for the holidays because they look like Christmas ornaments. But triangulating the white from the eyes to the ears to the teeth in everybody else's perspective is going to give you a locked in golden triangle even with a red lip.